Hello peeps and hello peppers, and welcome to Lundi the Monday Puffin. Hello stranger, if you've never been here, it's great to have you here. I am Frida, a disabled artist on many different levels, and on Mondays I am always trying to say something about my life as a foreigner with a disability in Iceland, where I particularly make a little bit of a good-hearted fun of the fact that the French word for Monday spells exactly the same way as the Icelandic word for puffin. And of course, I'm still designing my own puffin tarot. The deadline is this upcoming Thursday because I have a show coming up. So a minute of silence for all the work I didn't do. I assume that, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will still paint this tarot on camera. Bear with me. I always find it royally funny when my friend asks, can you paint while you talk? Yes, I obviously can. And by the way, I also have a communication book to draw while I am in conversation, so I don't forget what I wanted to tell people while not interrupting them. Because, like, with my particular form of autism, I notice increasingly that I have a problem making people seen. I mean, many good friends have stuck with me over the years, but especially if I don't manage to establish a contact really well, or like a person has the feeling that we don't get to know each other too well, that takes a lot of my energy because of course I mean well, but I am let's say I grew up in an environment with a lot of, like, primarily old ladies who wanted to say, like, the guest is king and we need to feel the guest, give the guest a feeling of being welcome. But I am, depending on circumstances, not necessarily a very welcoming person, and I can't really do a professional setup, but this is actually my trademark, to create an environment that either you love or you hate, and where I can be myself and the other person can also be themselves, and we don't have to be artificial. So I have not forgotten the question about the health benefits of Icelandic water. Yesterday, I had a surprising gig at a market. Because it was a pop-up market in a new cultural and foodie location. People could just show up with their things, and I also did tarot readings and I did illustrations for people. But it also was cold in this room, and that means I have, like, something like very sore muscles today. I usually don't feel cold when I move, but let's say when I don't move and the door is constantly open, it's maybe not such a good idea, but people couldn't know that in advance. And I was so grateful because it was like a great spirit in the venue, but My friend reminded me today I will just pay the price by having to rest. So actually, I am doing the bare necessities. I just Googled health benefits of Icelandic water, health benefits of Icelandic hot springs. And I found something that I didn't know yet. Like, let's say in Reykjavik, we have a lot of these posters with the Icelandic water bottle that looks like it has a little bit such a crystal-esque design, and it says, "Don't be fooled by this." Because the water from the bottle is the same that comes out from the tap. Like, according to a myth debunking page, that is not totally the same. My experience is like when I accommodate guests who know me well, they sometimes say they can't drink the tap water because it tastes like sulfur. And you have to make the tap water run for a long time to actually get rid of this taste. And like for some Central European tongues, you never get rid of this taste. So that is a little bit like old eggs. But it doesn't do anything bad. It's just not very appealing. This guy is pulling treasures out of the water. Like, yes, we do have clean water that I'm thankful for. And we do have hot springs that I am occasionally bathing in. Like a couple of years ago with my hippie friends, we actually went into one in the nature. And I noticed that, let's say, a little sore that I had on the finger closed right away when I went into this water. But let's say this water was murky. So I didn't see there were sharp stones. And the sharp stones made new little sores. And in one of my first like Icelandic horses books that woke up my interest about Iceland when I was a child, the trekking riders also said that they when they had like a sore butt from sitting on the horse for multiple hours a day, they sat down in such a hot spring. Disclaimer: you can't bathe in all hot springs, and let's say non-bathing signs are there for a reason. We just saw ours after we had finished our hippie bath that was supposed to bring good luck on a midsummer's night and blah. But theoretically, like fountains can shoot up without a warning and then you're cooked. So, what says the puffin? No. Please be sure to only bathe in places where that is allowed and where that is deemed safe. I had to laugh a little bit when I heard on the news that the lava from the latest eruption just stopped on the parking spot of the Blue Lagoon. But there are also some kind of tasteless jokes about the Blue Lagoon, because like it took a long time for the people to finally close it when there was volcanic activity. I personally think it's always safety of people first. And sort of that's the price you pay for living on a volcano, to have to adjust like the tourism industry and your personal plans and so on. don't get me wrong, I feel for people who live in areas directly affected by volcanoes. And I was in Viki Myrdal recently, and that is more like potentially affected by secondary floods when a nearby glacier volcano could erupt. And actually, I learned on the trip that every house in Vik-i Myrdal has an evacuation plan on the wall. And my German friend who came to Iceland also told me that he had a mechanism in his phone. I don't know if that was particularly an app, but this mechanism addresses all the phones in a particular area, where you then, if something happens, get instructions what to do. Like even in some areas of Hafnarfjörður, south of Reykjavik, at some point in more recent times, you got the message you were only supposed to even be in the house with shoes, and like because of like glass splinters that could fly around. But like under normal circumstances, it's a very cultural thing in Iceland to always take your shoes off when you enter a house. Back to the topic with the water. I have also tried to compare a little bit of prices. Like, let's say I personally only entered the Blue Lagoon when I got the tickets as a thank you for helping someone. I was in the nature baths in Mývatn in northern Iceland. They were at the point, but that was already 6 years ago, slightly cheaper. Like I think we paid something like of the type 30 euros per person, and we could be all day long. Normal swimming pools that usually also have one or two little hot pots can vary a little bit by price. There was a time where I, as a disabled person, didn't get free access in the Reykjavik city pools, but then I took a bus to Hveragerði, which is in South Iceland, and there the disabled people were free to enter. But that only was feasible when I wanted a little trip in the countryside. Anyway, because the bus was so expensive, it took like 45 minutes. And at this point, there were only stairs to the swimming pool, no lift. So very smart. But today I Googled that, for instance, in my much beloved Borgarnes that I'm researching for my book trilogy, there is no specific discount for the disabled. And it's like about $1 more expensive than in Reykjavik. But like Reykjavik admits the disabled people for free by now. So I would actually advise, if you come here, compare prices and compare like what errands you can connect, and follow instructions if you get any, like on the radio or on the phone. I'm much into like Googling and otherwise researching where news come from, but like these safety alerts on the phone are usually from someone who is actually trained to give them. So stay safe, and and have a great day. Bye bye.